Okay, as promised, here is an update. Um, Sorry that it took longer than I wanted it to, but I've had to re-add a bunch of code now because I've actually completely deleted the old player code now. And you can see I've started trying to structure my stuff better. I'm gonna be moving a lot of this stuff and deleting some of it. But for now, I'll just go over what I've been able to add back in, which, first off, the way that I'm doing the players now is I actually have this PC base. That's actually the player controller. I have this player base that holds all of the client-side code. So anything client-side will be run on the player base. And then anything that requires replication, I then just re-add in the events, or I add in new events. So for instance, with looking, for the camera rotation, I actually have to set the pitch of the player's camera, since at the moment the way I'm doing it is I just have the gun attached to the camera. But I will be changing this code later when I have a proper character mesh, where instead it's going to be the spine bones are actually rotated and whatnot, which then means this code can be removed. But for now, I don't have proper player models and whatnot. I did add in this though. So now instead of being a bean, you're now a T-posing orange guy. But yeah. So yeah, anything that has to do with multiplayer replication is ran through the MP player. And everything client side is run on the PC base. So I've been able to add back in reloading, shooting, obviously character movement, and looking. I've been able to add back in sprinting as well. I added back in the HUD. And I've even added in, this is a new thing, I have teams now. With the new replication code, I can actually, finally, add in proper teams, as you can see. So I do a multicast, which allows me, so I do a multicast from the server. So pretty much I say to all clients to set this player controller to this team index. And since this team index will both be on the server and all of the clients, it doesn't matter if a client joins late or not, this will always show the correct number, I think. I'm starting to question if that is true or not, and if it's not true, I can just change this to rep notify. Since rep notify would pretty much just allow me to say, yeah, set this on all clients, and then no matter if a client joins late or not, it'll be correct. I think, at least. If I'm wrong about that, then goddamn it. I'll figure something out at some point. But yeah, so teams work, and you can't shoot your teammate. Or you could. It depends if if a server decides to have God. Goddamn. Sorry about that. It depends if a server decides to have friendly fire or not. This is the code that I have for selecting the team that you join, which at the moment is very basic. It's pretty much just checking to see if all of the teams are equal, and if they are all equal, then I just do a random between the, 0 and whatever the maximum number of teams is. So if there's 5 teams and all of them have 1 player, then when a new player joins, since all of the teams are equal in size, it'll just randomly choose between 0 and 4, because all arrays start at 0. Otherwise, you'll be, the newest player will be put onto the smallest team. So whichever team has the smallest amount of players. And then I update the team size. God damn it, Jesus. Okay. Then I update the size of the team to say, oh yeah, this player joined this team, so now we add 1 to, the that specific team's player count. And yeah, I've also updated all this code. This used to just be the basic built-in. It used to cast to just the built-in player controller, but I've updated it now. Fuck. I cannot stop yawning. I've updated it now. So now it's all MPPC because this is for the multiplayer. So I'll have different player controller configurations depending on if it's single player, multiplayer, or like co-op, maybe. I don't know if I'm actually going to have to do any differences for co-op, though. I might have to do something for a local multiplayer, though. Fuck. Like if you're playing over LAN. Jesus, I cannot stop fucking yawning. But yeah, I have all these new enums. I have a data table, and blah, 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 blah. And yeah, so pretty much I'm just going to continue working at adding everything back in that I've had to remove. As you can see over here, I already have things that I'm getting ready to add in. And also, this one just works. Oh, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, these two exist for spawning drops. So I have to then go from the player died to the server, telling the server that the player died, so that the server can then spawn a drop for all of the players. That drop being ammo or a gun or something. So yeah, I'm just going to go through, add in the pause menu, add in the interact, add in fire switch, yada, yada, yada. Just add all of this shit in. And yeah, once I've added everything back in, I'll continue with adding in the new things that I couldn't add previously because my code sucked. Like perks. So yeah. I think that is pretty much everything I have to say. We could even squeeze that in like that. But yeah, I think that's everything that I've done. My code is much better now. As you can see, it looks a lot cleaner. So yeah. And like I have a lot less things that I'm sending to the server, and because I'm sending less things to the server itself, that's actually very helpful. Because it means less packets to send, and therefore less strain on a user's internet connection, and therefore less likelihood of packets getting dropped. So yeah, I'm like making sure pretty much everything on the player base, any variables inside of here, are not replicated. I think this is the... No, I don't even replicate that one. Okay. Yeah, I don't replicate any of these. None of these variables are ever replicated. The only variables that I have set for replication are the ones that are inside of here, except for this one. I could probably move that one back. Or no, I can't move it into here because that's specifically so I can have a reference to this for the sake of doing this. Yeah. So yeah, just a lot of fiddling around and trying to make it so that everything works as functionally as possible. and in the most optimized way and whatnot. So yeah, with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.